Hello there, everybody. I am just going live to do a little energy check in for Aries today. We're going to see what's going on in your environment, what's going on in your work, what's going on around some more personal situations. We're just going to do a little energy check in and see where you are and the types of energies that you are dealing with right now. So let's see, let's get some cards on the table and see what shows up for those of you with Aries placements. And I would recommend this for Aries Sun, Moon, or Rising. If you're looking for love information, then I would recommend this for Aries Venus. Okay. All right, so let's see what shows up here, guys. What I have coming up first talks to me about your environment, and your environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested. For most of you, this is going to have to do with your home, but every once in a while, this will show up as your workplace or the gym. So we want to be kind of open about what this is that we're looking at. So when I look at your environment, Aries, it looks like you have an environment where you can be very comfortable in your own skin, where you're not judged, where you can just be you, and nobody really tries to interfere with that. So you're just more encouraged, supported, uplifted. We love to see that. All right, so the next thing that we have showing up talks to me about your subconscious leanings, Aries. And what I'm seeing here is that for subconscious leanings, you guys are really focused on your support network, your tribe, your friends, your family, those people that you can lean on and that you don't mind actually helping them as well. And so your subconscious is really working on how can I improve that network for myself? Next thing that we're looking at, Aries talks to me about two things. First of all, your learning style, and secondly, your communication style. So when I look at learning style, it looks to me like there are some things that you know and that you know very well, and this information I think you're using every single day. But there's also some new information that you're trying to find out. And this doesn't have to be, school or work. This can even be information that you're looking for in your personal life. It looks to me like there's a lot of confusion around some information that you're looking for. You're actually having a hard time finding some answers and finding some solutions. So there's a lot of confusion in some things that you're trying to learn that are more new information. Now, as far as your communication style, I feel like you are very clear when you communicate about what it is you're trying to say. I don't think you're leaving a lot of doubt in anybody's mind about what it is you're trying to get across when you do communicate. And also, I feel like you have a whole lot of people that you communicate with. Maybe not the heavier, more important things, but you have a whole lot of people that you communicate with on an everyday basis in general. Kind of typical for a fire sign. You guys are very social. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. That social side is showing up in your communication style right now. Now, next thing that I'm looking at, actually, let me get a sip here. Next thing that I'm looking at has to do with work for you, Aries. And so when I'm looking at work, this is sometimes it is actually how we make a living, but sometimes it also shows up as what we do to feel productive in our family or our tribe or our community. And what I'm seeing is that you are trying to make some type of decision about work right now, and you're having a hard time figuring out which way you really want to go. So I will tell you, that's a great thing to get a reading on, actually. If you're trying to make a big decision about work, like, should I stay here or should I find a new job? Should I stay in this career or should I find a new direction? Stuff like that is great to get a reading on so that you can get a big picture perspective instead of the perspective from the middle of the forest where you can't see all the trees. Anyway, some type of decision you're trying to make around work and you're having trouble with it. That's what's showing up here in your energy. Next thing that we're looking at talks to me about that part of you that's growing or expanding right now. It looks to me, Aries, like there are some changes that it would be beneficial for you to actually make in your life. However, you know that These changes would be beneficial in a certain area of your life, but you're not sure what these changes would do to other areas of your life. And that unknown has you really holding back and not making any forward progress with these changes. So, because we have free will, I am going to give some advice here where I see that it's appropriate so that you guys can make my cards into liars. When we see something we don't like, we want to switch it up, right? So if you have changes like this that you know it will be beneficial in certain ways for you to make, but you're not sure how it's going to impact your life in other ways, the way this card comes up, these changes are actually going to be beneficial in much more than what you realize. And so it's in your best interest to not actually resist these changes, but actually to embrace them so that you get through that unknown territory and you get out to the other side where things are much better, where it's easier to follow your own path and your own calling more productively and more happily. So if you find yourself resisting some changes that you know you kind of need to make, just think about that if you move forward with them, that you end up actually being happier. Now, next thing that we're going to talk about, Hannah, welcome. Next thing we're going to talk about, are you at Aries? Is going to be two cards that go hand in glove with each other. So the first card that we're going to look at talks to me about something that you stand up for. Okay, so sometimes, once in a great while, a very small percentage, you're a Taurus. Okay. So far, this video is about Aries, unfortunately. But if you know what Aries and you want some insights, this is a great video to watch. So let's see. Sometimes these two cards talk about an inner turmoil that you're having, Aries. And so this can talk about two sides of the inner turmoil. But more often than not, it actually talks about something that you're standing up for because you have a person come to you and ask you to explain something, or they come to you crying and whining, or they can all out confront you, and that puts you in a position where you have to defend whatever this is. Okay. So we're going to look at what you're standing up for, and then we're also going to look for um, how this person who came to you and put you in a position to stand up for this thing, how they feel after you've stood up for this. So it looks to me like you have taken some kind of action, and this has been you have verbalized something, you have let the word out about something. You may have taken up some kind of challenge, or maybe you have, started like some kind of promotional campaign. Maybe you're sending out resumes, but there's some kind of action that you've taken where you're getting the word out about something. And that is what you have had to stand up for. And this is what somebody has asked you to explain or confronted you about, or somewhere in between there. So, this other person, how they feel once you've explained why you've done this and what your purpose was, how they feel is like they feel like they are just one of your options. They might have figured that they had your attention all wrapped up for whatever the situation was. Now they don't feel like that at all. Now they feel like they're just one option, and you definitely have not settled on them as the winner. Okay. So, all of that stuff has probably already happened sometime within the last, I'm going to say 28 days. That's probably stretching it. It probably hasn't taken that long. The next things may or may not have happened so far, so we're just going to look at them. You'll recognize where you are in this life cycle, even if I don't know exactly, because there's a lot of you out there, and a lot of you are going to be in different places here. So, lesson or experience that we see you coming up to, if you haven't got there already, you're going to be cutting somebody off or cutting somebody out, cutting communication as thoroughly as you possibly can. I've got my Queen of Swords in reverse, and she is ruthless. When she has had enough and had it up to here, there is no more talk. There is no more communication. There is no more Facebook Messenger, text messages, voicemails, messages through friends, et cetera, et cetera. She's not listening. She's not having it. She's not responding. This is what I see you doing. There's somebody that you're cutting out as far as communication goes. Okay, Aries. Now, at the same time that that's going on, there is something also that you're very confused about. And this isn't something that you're misled about or you're going down the primrose path when that's not the real path. This is something where you're recognizing that you're confused. This is not misled. This is, I don't know what to think about this situation. Okay. So that's what we see. At the same time that you're cutting somebody out, there's something going on that has you pretty confused. You're recognizing that you're confused. And then we also have something else going on where you're really hoping that something good comes out of this idea of cutting this person off. You're actually expecting that this is going to bring something good into your life. And I would hope so, because it's kind of a big deal to cut somebody out. I mean, I think that we should expect something good to come out of that. Hello there, Whitney. Welcome, welcome. Are you a Aries, my friend? Let's see. And where do we see you guys at the end of this life cycle? We actually see you in a place where I think that you are, I really think a lot of you Aries are going to be enjoying time with children, kids, people, little people, under 18 type people, probably much younger than that, as in much younger than that. So I think that you're going to be enjoying time with kids and really enjoying those children. I think they're going to be people that are little people that are very well behaved and that you like spending time with. So that's a really nice ending to this life cycle. We like that. Now, when I say ending to a life cycle, that doesn't mean ending to your life. Okay. Don't get confused. It just means now you're ready to step into the next life cycle and learn the next lesson or have the next experience. All right. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, you can definitely see some things going on with your Aries person if you go back and rewatch this. I actually just kind of finished up the reading part of it, but I'm glad that you're here. Yay, yay. So, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, share it with your Aries friends or your people who are Aries that are close in their lives. And I appreciate you all so much. Everybody, have a fantastic day. Peace out.